Ready? Let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's ask that word of wisdom in Yeshua's precious name. Heavenly Father, you got a group of men here that wants to learn your word. Let their eyes be open and the ears be open in Yeshua's precious name. Amen. Turn with me to Deuteronomy chapter 4. Hebrew word for Deuteronomy is Haddebrim. These be the words. The whole book of Deuteronomy was written the 11th month of the 40th year. Moses died on the 29th day of Sabbath in 1452. Here we go, James. Try it again. Did the lead come out of that one?
It did.
Have you got it, or you want to try this?
I got this. Thank you.
Okay.
Chapter what?
Chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. And we're going to pick it back up. Now remember that Manasseh had just been given his inheritance along with Reuben and the Gadites. So let's pick it up in chapter 4. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, this is Moses speaking, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you. Try this.
He's right.
Sorry.
That's okay. He took the pencil.
Okay.
We're good now.
Let's try it again. Chapter 4. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and to the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that you may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. And you shall not add unto the words which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught of it, that you may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. Now, do we remember what Baal Peor was? Baal Peor is licentious riots, unrestrained, especially in sexual conduct, lacking moral or sexual restraint. Anyone who disregards accepted rules, particularly in sexual conduct. And if you remember, turn back with me to Numbers chapter 25. And we'll go over that right quick, just exactly what did happen at Baal Peor. It won't take long. Numbers chapter 25. 277. Look. Numbers 25, and it reads, And Israel abode in Chittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. You don't think they do that now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Listen, when they go into a church, and if you're sitting there, and you're sitting next door to a Democrat, and you don't never say nothing to that Democrat, you're accepting his God.
Yep.
Verse 3, And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. The reason we came here. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, Take all of the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, Slay you every one his man that hath joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all of the congregation, of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. He went all the way to the ground with that spear, y'all.
Yeah, he did. Well,
And those that died in the plague were 24,000. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, Behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace. What a wonderful thing for Phinehas.
oh, yeah, absolutely.
God's covenant of peace.
Yep.
What a wonderful thing for Phinehas. And he shall have it, and his seed after him. Listen, y'all, what a blessing this is that the Heavenly Father put on Phinehas.
Absolutely.
Even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God and made an atonement for the children of Israel. Sometimes, y'all, love comes at the end of a 2x4.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianitish woman that was slain was Cusbi, the daughter of Zur. You know what Zur is in Hebrew language? Z-U-R is an apostate. Remember in Proverbs where it talks about the strange woman to keep you from the strange woman? No, the strange woman is the Zur, the apostate. He was head over a people and a chief house in Midian. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Vex the Midianites and smite them, for they vexed you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cusbi, the daughter of the prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake. Now, God went on to say that there will not be a Midianite man to step foot in the temple for 10 generations. But not a Midianitish woman. Now, let's go back with me to Deuteronomy chapter 4. And we'll pick it up. Verse 3. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor, and all of the men that followed Baal Peor. The Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. We just read it, 24,000 of them. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom. It's still your wisdom today, y'all. And your understanding in the sight of the nation, which shall hear all of these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath God so nigh unto them? They ain't none, and neither is they none like we do here in this country. Look, pull out a coin and you'll see, in God we trust. That's why we're blessed. as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for. Question. And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgment so righteous as all of this law which I set before you this day? Question. And I ask you now, what nation on earth has the blessings or the laws or the Constitution as the United States has?
None.
Verse 9. Only take heed to yourself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thy eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all of the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy God in Horeb, when the Lord said unto me, gather all of the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all of the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And you came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire unto the midst of heaven, with the darkness, clouds, and thickness. And the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. You heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude. Only you heard a voice. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even the 10 Commandments. And he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone. Wouldn't you love to see those tablets that the finger of God wrote?
Oh, yeah.
And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that you might do them in the land whither you go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for you saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb, out of the midst of the fire. Lest you corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of a male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. And lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun, the moon, and the stars, even all of the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but that last eclipse we had people driving up to New Jersey just to have big orgies. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the Lord hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as you are this day. Furthermore, the Lord was angry with me for your sakes, and sware that I should not go over Jordan, and that I should not go into that good land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. But I must die in this land. I must not go over Jordan. But you shall go over and possess that good land. Take heed to yourselves, lest you forget the covenant of Yahweh, your Elohim, which he made with you, and make you a graven image, or the likeness of anything which the Lord thy God hath forbidden thee. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God. What does Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 29 say? My God is a consuming fire. When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and you shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, that's exactly what they did, and make a graven image of the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of Yahweh thy Elohim, to provoke him to anger. They still do it today, y'all.
Yep.
To provoke him to anger to his face.
Yep.
I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that you shall soon utterly perish from off of the land, whereunto you go over Jordan to possess it. You shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you. And there you shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood, stone, which neither see, nor eat, or nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. Think about how dumb that is to worship a stick
Yeah, I know.
or a rock.
I know. And people do it.
Oh, they go to that Catholic church. Watch them. They'll get them beads out. Woo,
Oh, yeah.
We'll go count these beads, and
Yep.
here we go. We'll do all this magic incantation.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Pure ignorance.
And there you see, but if from thence, now listen, he's talking to us, y'all. If from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him. If, here's that big old word, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all of thy soul. When thou art in tribulation, and all of these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shalt be obedient unto his voice, for the Lord thy God is a merciful God. His mercy endures forever, y'all. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers which he sware unto them. For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that God created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of heaven even unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as this great thing is, or hath been heard like it. Did ever people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of fire, as thou hast heard and lived? Question. Or hath God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation, by temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by the mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God did for you in Egypt, before your eyes? Question. Unto thee it was showed that thou mayest know that Yahweh, he is Elohim, even in, there is none else besides him. Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. And upon earth he showed thee his great fire, and thou heardest his words out of the midst of the fire. And because he loved thy fathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and brought thee out of his sight with his mighty power out of Egypt, to drive out nations from before thee, greater and mightier than thou art, to bring thee in, to give thee their land for an inheritance, as it is this day. Now therefore this day, know therefore this day, and consider it in thy heart, that the Lord, he is God, in heaven above, and upon earth beneath. There is none else. Thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may be well with thee, and with thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth, which the Lord thy God giveth thee forever. Then Moses severed 3 cities on this side Jordan towards the sun rising. I'm just going to pause there and simply say, sometimes there is a reason to take a human life. That's the reason of the 3 cities. that the slayer may flee thither, which should kill his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in times past, and that fleeing into one of the cities he might live, namely Bezer in the wilderness, in the country of the Reubenites, and Ramoth in Gilead, that means the height of Gilead, of the Gedites, and Golan in Bashan, of the Manassites. And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel. These are the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Moses spake unto the children of Israel after they came out of Egypt. On this side of Jordan, in the valley over against Baal Peor, in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, whom Moses and the children of Israel smote after they were come forth out of Egypt. And they possessed his land, and the land of Og, king of Bashan, 2 kings of the Amorites, which were on this side of Jordan towards the sunrise. From Aurora, which is by the brink of the river Arnon, even even unto Mount Sion, which is Hermon. Just a quick note about Mount Hermon. Israel just took control of Mount Hermon in Syria for the first time in 2,400 and something years. And all of the plains on this side of Jordan, eastward, even unto the sea of the plain, under the spring of Pisgah, springs of Pisgah. Chapter 5. And Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ear this day, that you may learn them and keep them. That you may learn them and keep and do them. And the Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. And the Lord talked with you face to face in the mount out of the midst of the fire. I stood between the Lord and you at that time to show you the word of the Lord. For you were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not into the mountain, saying, I am Yahweh thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other God before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. That's pretty simple if you think about it. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord thy God. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. Y'all read that. It's not going to pass it down if you don't hate him. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. There's where his mercy is. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all of thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy ox, nor thy ass, nor any of thy cattle. nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as you. And remember that thou was a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee out thence through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. Honor thy father and mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. That in the Hebrew, that is ponyos, that's committed illegal homicide. Neither shalt thou commit adultery, neither shalt thou steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the cloud of the thick darkness, which with a great voice. And he added no more. And he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone and delivered them unto me. And it came to pass when he heard the voice of out of the midst of the darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, that ye come near unto me, even all of the heads of your tribes and your elders. Now I want you to pay attention, because they are about to commit themselves and their children to a covenant. And you said, behold, Yahweh our Elohim hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that God doeth talk with man, and he liveth. Now therefore, why should we die? Question. For this great fire will consume us, if we hear the voice of the Lord our God any more, then we shall die. They wouldn't. They're just a bunch of cowards. For who is there of all of the flesh that hath heard the voice of the living God speak out of the midst of fire, as we have, and lived? Question. Go thou near and hear all that the Lord our God shall say. Here goes the covenant. And speak thou unto us all that the Lord our God shall speak unto thee, and we will hear it and do it. They just bald-faced lied. But they did put themselves under a covenant, and they put their children under that same covenant, and their children are still under that covenant today. And the Lord heard the voice of your words when you spake unto me. And the Lord said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto thee. They have well said all that they have spoken. Oh, that they were such an heart in them, that they would fear me and keep all of my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever. Go say unto them, get you into your tents again. But as for thee, stand thou here by me, and I will speak unto thee all of the commandments and the statutes and the judgments, which thou shalt teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. And you shall observe to do therefore as the Lord your God hath commanded you. You shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left. You shall walk in all of the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you, that you may live, that it may be well with you, that you may prolong your days in the land which you shall possess. Chapter 6. little bit hot out here, isn't it?
Yep.
Now these are the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land whither you go to possess it, that you might fear the Lord thy God, to keep all of his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all of the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, that you may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy heart, and with all of thy soul, and with all of thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. What does Malachi chapter 3 and verse 16 say? Turn over with me. Malachi, that's the last book in the Old Testament. Malachi 3:16. I want you to see it with your own eyes. And it says, Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. A book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in the day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. If you want blessings from God, talk about him everywhere you go, y'all.
Yep.
Talk about him everywhere you go. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 6 and pick it up at verse 8. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be a frontlet between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy gate house, and on thy gates. And it shall be, when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and wells dig, which thou diggest not, and vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware, lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt. And that's what happens to our people. We get fat, happy, and sassy, and then we forget him.
Yep.
From the house of bondage, thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. You shall not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. You shall not tempt the Lord your God, as you tempted him in Massah. You can read about that in Exodus chapter 17, verse 2. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all of thine enemies from before thee, as the Lord has spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, What mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord our God hath commanded you? Question. Then thou shalt say unto thy son, We were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Lord showed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all of his house before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in, and give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to do all of these statutes, to fear the Lord our God, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all of these commandments. It'll be our righteousness too, y'all, if we do. Before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us. Let's go one more chapter. And when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt not covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, neither his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy you suddenly. That's what happened to Solomon. But this shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, break down their images, cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art a holy people, and Yahweh thy Elohim, the Lord thy God, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. 1 Peter 2:9 says you are a chosen generation, a peculiar people. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, and hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenants and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. His mercy never ends. And repay them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if you hearken to do these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. And he will love thee, and bless thee, and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, thy corn, and thy wine, and thy oil, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. In the pseudepigrapha, it says none of your animals will be barren. Well, if you got all of your animals giving birth every year, you're going to have a pretty good herd.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thou shalt be blessed above all people. Thou shalt not There shall not be male nor female barren among you and among your cattle. There you go. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all of them that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all of the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto thee. If thou shalt say in thy heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? Question. Thou shalt not fear, thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt, the great temptation which thine eyes saw, the signs and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord thy God brought thee out. So shall the Lord thy God do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid. Moreover, the Lord thy God will send the hornet among them, until they that are left and hide themselves from thee be destroyed. Thou shalt not be affrighted of them, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty God and terrible. We're coming into a period, y'all. Satan's going to be here. We don't need to be afraid.
Nope.
And the Lord thy God will put out these nations before thee by little and little, that thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. Makes sense if you think about it. But the Lord thy God shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction, until they be destroyed. And he shall deliver their kings into thy hand, and thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven. They shall no man be able to stand before thee. What a blessing. Until thou have destroyed them. The graven images of their God shall you burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be a snare therein. For it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination unto thy house, lest thou be cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it. Thou shalt utterly abhor it for the cursed thing. May the Lord keep you and bless you. May he make his face shine upon you and lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And I hope you got something out of it.
Thank you. May his mercy endure forever.
Ugh, man. Guess what? Next week or two, you're going to start seeing on the news. Europe is under a heat wave, worst heat wave they've ever been under.
Yeah, I heard.
Global warming.
That's what I do. That I do. I take a space time down there to Gainesville to that sober house. I said, my boy, well, he needs to see you.
Cool.
Maybe we'll do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do FaceTime these programs to Gainesville down to the sober house.
Oh, yeah. You know.
For those who want to learn, come on.
Yeah.
All I did was show him some promises there he made. You want to follow it, you can. If you can pick it up, you can pick it up. Hey, you're the first smart boy. You learned to walk real quick. You know he's called upon the Lord the last year or two. You know he has.
I hope he finds the Lord.
I know he has. Maybe he never lost him. He walked away. Acting foolish.
We all have done that, ain't we? The Bible says we all come short of the glory of God.
Every one of us. Not today, though, Jack. No Babylon for me.
Babel means confusion. Come out of her, my people. Did you know that the first abortion took place in America January the 22nd, 1970?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened 50 years later at the Jubilee? 50 years later from that first abortion, not only was it 50 years, but it was 50 years to the very minute that that first baby was dead. January 22nd, 2020, we had patient 0 of the coronavirus in Washington State.
Oh.
And he died the same day that that baby died, 50 years later. That's what the Jubilee does, is the Jubilee restores and it requires the blood. Remember what Abraham Lincoln said? If it requires the blood and treasure of all of those men who have owned these slaves and have drawn blood with the lash, every drop of that blood must be repaid. And that's why the Civil War had to happen. If you hadn't have picked up that whip,
Yeah.
you know, there's rules for the slavery. After 6 years, let him go free. When you let him go free, don't let him go empty-handed, but supply him liberally out of your treasure, out of your storehouse, and out of your flock. You're supposed to give him a mule, a cow, and some feed.
Okay.
They didn't do that.
No, exactly.
They didn't do that. Well, God declares liberty. That's what the Jubilee is. Jubilee is liberty.
Okay.
You see, every seventh day is Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Every seventh year is Shemitah. That's the or Sabbath year, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Shemitah is Sabbath year.
Yeah.
Well, every seventh Shemitah is Yovel, or Jubilee.
Okay. Makes sense.
See, the Jubilee trumpet was supposed to be sounded on the seventh day of the month at the 7th hour, and 7 minutes past the 7th hour was when the trumpet was supposed to be sounded. And when that trumpet was sounded, that's the sound of liberty.
Okay.
If any man had sold his possession, it returned back to him.
Oh, okay.
If any man sold himself into slavery, he was let go. It is the declaration of liberty.
Okay.
And it's, people forget it. God's rules is God's rules.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's not going to, you know,
Yeah.
he's not going to. I've been saying since 2015, Donald Trump is the anti or instead of Yehu.
Yeah.
And Bill said, you ought to write a book on it. Well, Jonathan Kahn did write a book about it, and I'm reading it right now.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
it's
cool.
absolutely fascinating.
Huh.
Yehu, when he went into the temple of Baal,
Mm-hmm.
he appointed 80 men to stand outside the temple and to kill them when they went in. On January the 6th, when that riot went on,
Mm-hmm.
if you read the Washington Post, you will see that there were 80 men arrested for the insurrection at the Capitol.
Huh.
The exact same number that Yehu had.
Yeah.
Exact same. How is that a coincidence?
That isn't. That's awesome. Man.
Not only that, but Donald Trump announced his presidency on the top of the stairs in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Yehu is the only king of Israel that was swore in at the start of the steps.
Huh. Yeah, because he did. He was at the top of those stairs when he did it.
Yehu was too.
Yep.
He is. I'm telling you everything about it. You know, they
Yeah.
shot old Ehud thinking they had killed him,
Yeah.
but they had missed him. They had missed him by just a little bit
Yeah.
and drew just a little blood. Well, what happened to Donald Trump?
Yep. Same thing. Yep.
It's amazing.
Yes,
It's
very good.
absolutely amazing. Not only that, but Yehu had a broken kingship. He was swore in king, and then there was a period that he was taken away, and then he come back with vengeance.
Huh. Yeah. It's a pretty compelling argument. Yeah.
Oh, that's not. I'm not
That-
even.
that's
I'm not
cool.
even touching the thing, man.
Dang, that's pretty neat.
It is absolutely. If you want to read about Yehu, he's in the 10th chapter, of 2 Kings.
All right.
You can read about him
I will.
because he's Yehu's a character, man.
Yeah, I will.
Yehu's a character. He was zealous to kill all of the Baal worshippers, but he never was a Yahweh worshiper.
Huh.
It was blessed that his next 4 children would be on the throne, but he was never a worshiper of Yahweh.
Really? Huh. That's weird.
Look around. That's
Yeah.
what's going on right now.
That's true.
Because right now Donald Trump put in a office of chaplain
Yeah.
in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time the chaplain had an office in the White House since Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
And do you know that chaplain's name that was in that office?
Uh-huh.
Frederick Douglass.
Oh, okay.
He was the chaplain.
Okay. Huh.
Who's in there right now? Her name is Paula White. Look her up.
I will.
Look her up. Well, her name is Paula White Kane, but she used to be Paula White.
Okay.
You can find her on the internet as Paula White.
Okay. I'll look her up.
She's there at the White House right now.
Okay.
And keep in mind what Paul told Timothy. I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up, Paula White. Make your own decision.
Yeah.
What's going on? She's in that White House right now today.
Okay. I started reading that book. That's good. I
A
like
lot of biblical references.
it. Yeah, there is a bunch.
You're
Like,
going
from
to
the
be
very
shocked
beginning.
when you find out.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
going to
looking
be
forward
shocked.
to it. Yep. I started this morning because I took off work. The one. The scepter and
Judas,
yeah.
Judah.
Yep.
Joseph Birthright.
Judas Scepters and Joseph Birthright.
Yes.
Really good.
I didn't work today. I was supposed to work with the prison. But
It's hard to sit down. Really.
Hmm?
It's a hard book to sit down. Hard book to stop reading.
It
yeah,
is.
It is. I was hungry. I was like, I gotta eat. I've got to eat in a minute. I'm like, next chapter, I'm gonna go eat. Okay, I've got to go eat. That was about 8:30 this morning because I had to go. I was supposed to work this morning because the academy is out from today until next Thursday because they have to go get they have to renew their certification. So we're supposed to work at the prison on Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30, same time as the academy. But I had an appointment this morning at the dentist, so I didn't go. And I started reading that book when I got home. I'm reading it now.
Oh, man, I'm telling you,
really hungry.
it is a really.
It's a really
Now,
good book.
keep in mind that it's written in 1902.
Yeah, because
This man died in 1915.
Yeah,
He never saw World War One.
yeah,
He never saw a plane.
yeah,
He never saw a jet. He
Yeah.
never saw a car that could drive 60 miles an hour.
yeah.
So keep that in mind.
He didn't even see Israel become a state.
No,
No, and he talked about
No.
that near the very beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, so
But he was he was part of the. Are you familiar with the Balfour Declaration? Well, when the Balfour Declaration come out, this Allen, he was part of the boys that come up with the first Israel Congress of Israel in 1897.
oh, okay,
He was part of that.
okay,
So he was.
Look,
Zionist Congress. That's what it was. Zionist Congress. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
dumb. I can't remember stuff. But that was in 1897, and he was part of that.
Okay.
And that was when it was declared that they were going to find a homeland.
Oh, all right.
Now, it didn't happen for another 41 years.
Yeah.
But the declaration was there.
Yeah.
And the scripture says, speak the things that are not as if they are.
Yep, it sure does.
So
Yep.
after the Balfour Declaration, then the Zionist Congress, and then it just moved on from there.
Okay.
That's the reason Adolf Hitler was so adamant. You know, Adolf Hitler would have never started killing the Jews if it hadn't been for Turkey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turkey was killing
Yep.
the people in Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
And Hitler looked around and he said, there's nobody saying anything to Turkey. They're not going to say anything to me if you kill my Jews. And right now, the Armenians are suffering again. And nobody's saying anything about it. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people in America have no idea who the Armenians are?
Yeah.
They have no idea that that is the tribe of Reuben.
Yeah. They don't even, I mean, how many black people in America didn't realize that Africa was in a perpetual civil war for decades? They didn't feel like, oh, Africa's great. No, they're murdering, killing, and raping. What is so great about your home country that you think is amazing? It's just
in
don't.
Zimbabwe, they are killing, I think they're averaging 109 Christians a day
Yeah.
in killing in
Yeah.
Zimbabwe.
Yep. Yeah. It's ridiculous that people don't know that.
American people don't care about God.
Nope.
They don't care about God's word.
Nope.
They don't care about his story.
Nope.
They just don't care.
Nope. Stupidity is king in America. Ignorance.
My people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yep.
Now, why are they dying? Because they're too stupid to pick up a book.
Yep. I'm dumb as shit. Yep.
And you, I imagine you can see it not only in the prisoners, but in the idiots that come to the prison to visit the prisoners.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yep. You see it everywhere you go. People are just dumb as shit. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's facts. I didn't have those guys come Wednesday and fix my garage because I talked to them one day last week, and then I came to the academy on Monday, and I sit next to a guy who had a concrete business for 18 years in Orlando, and he gave it up, moved away from Orlando. He said it's too busy, too many people. He said I just don't like his. He had a house there, and for years he had a half-acre lot next to him with an 8-foot fence around it, and he put up a pole barn. And under that pole barn, he had his excavator, his front loader, all his equipment under that pole barn, but you couldn't see it from the road. His neighbors moved in, and his neighbors, the people that bought the house next door from New York, and they were like, what do you have behind that gate? He's like, nothing. They took a drone and flew it over his property, saw all the equipment, called his homeowner's insurance, and said, he's got company equipment back there, blah, blah, blah. He's running a business out of his yard. His insurance company called and said, if you don't move that equipment, we have to drop your insurance because that's a residential neighborhood, not zoned for business. He's like, I just parked my equipment there. He goes, it doesn't matter. So he ended up running a 1,100 square foot warehouse to hold all of his equipment. He's like, I got tired of that shit quick. He goes, I sold out the business, kept what I wanted, and came up here back to where he's from here. He goes, this is more like what I like. He goes, that area used to be like this area a long time ago, and now it's all built up and it sucks. So he came back here. His family owns over in Sand Hill. There's a lake somewhere over there, and on the backside of the lake, there's like 240 acres that his family has owned since the 1800s. And he has a picture of they have a family photo, and that photo is so old that his great grandfather was 3 years old in that photo. There's a picture of them with their land. Yeah, and I said, sell me an acre. He goes, hell no. And I was like, okay. He owns those. They own the entire family just shares it, and they all use it. Just they go hunting, fishing, just camping or whatever, you know. And he has an RV park on it now because there's one little spot that has a small shack or something, and he got water and electricity there. So he's got an RV park there waiting for his wife and kid to come up from Orlando, then they're gonna buy a home. But his whole family's been in excavation, they've been in construction, and he's built homes with his dad before. So I told him I said, I got people coming to work on my garage, and he said, what's wrong with it? And I told him, he goes, send me pictures when you get home. I sent him pictures. He goes, man, we can take 2x12s, run them across the top, put 2x4s underneath it to support it. We can pull that down. We can blah, blah, blah. He goes, we can do that in a day. He goes, don't pay them $3,500. I'll come help you.
Good deal.
I said, yeah. He goes, yeah. I said, okay. And he said, tomorrow, which was Tuesday, we'll talk about when I can come help you. I said, all right. So we get to class on Tuesday. And he said, yeah, man, that's going to be easy. He goes, we'll just build a support wall, blah, blah, blah. He goes, if we can't find jacks. He goes, yeah. I said, if you can't, we'll just build a support wall. He said, it'll be easy. We can do this. He goes, it'll take us a day. He goes, how about Saturday? I said, you want to do it Saturday? He goes, yeah, I'm free all day Saturday. We'll start early in the morning, get everything pulled out, see what we need, running it all the material, come back, and put it back together.
That's great.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
No, so I'm going to pay him $1,000, because it was going to be $3,500. I'm not going to let him come work for free. You're not going to let him work cheap. So, I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of time, And there's another guy
If
there.
you can get that done for $1,000, you stole that job.
I know. He didn't even ask for money. He's like, I'll just help you for free, but I'm not doing that. That's too much. But
Jeremiah chapter 22. Read
that's
it.
why. That's why. Don't use your neighbor's labor for free. That's why I'm going to pay him. And there's another guy there in the class. His family is from Chipley, and they have excavation and construction and stuff as well. He's like, I'll come help. And they were talking. He said something. They were talking about something, and he said, I'm going to come help y'all. And Bryce said, no, you're not. You don't know how to do something. He goes, okay. The next day, he said, I was going to come help you, but Bryce said no. He said, I didn't say no. He said, you said no, I couldn't come help you on James's house. He said, no, I couldn't. I told you couldn't come help with the other thing, because the other thing you don't know anything about, you're going to ruin it. You can come help on James's house. You can come help and help load that, pick that beam up and stuff. You can come on, because we can use more hands. So I'm looking forward to
They're
that.
heavy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
16
to
foot, right? The main.
Yep. So he said, what we'll do is we'll get 2x12s and sandwich it with plywood and just screw it all together and put it up there.
Whatever works, man.
Yeah,
Whatever works.
yeah. So,
I think it will.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Get that done. I got everything taken off the entire wall, all the way across.
It'd be good to park in your garage again, won't it?
Oh yeah, I took the door down last week. I've been parking it. It's wide open. I park in it because I don't want to get out in the rain. I can roll the windows down and let it stay cool in the truck. So, but I asked him. I said, "Do you know how to take the siding off?" He goes, "I do, and I have all the tools to do it." I said, "All right." He goes,
Tools is the main thing.
Yeah, he
Man.
goes,
Carpentry work,
all
you
my
got to
tools
have the
up.
tools.
He goes, "I got tools to do every bit of that." He goes, I've got the tools. I've got the experience, the knowledge. He goes, "We'll get it done."
Let's go over yonder, y'all.
I'm gonna go home.